So welcome once again. So in this lecture we are going to discuss the divergent headworks. So I am Mr. S. Ogule, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering Department. So what are the divergent headworks? So here you can see we have all these structure, that is Sored Dam, then canal headworks, then these small left flank, right flank, all these things. And to do all such things we required some kind of structures, and these barrages or these headworks are called as a divergent headworks. These are the guiding bands, etc., etc. All these things are comes under the divergent headwork. Now the definition. So the divergent headwork is a structure constructed across a river for a purpose of raising water level in the river so that it can be diverted into the off-taking canal, or the works or weirs which are constructed at the head of the canal in order to divert the river towards the canal, so as to ensure a regulated continuous supply of silt free water with a certain minimum head into the canal, are called as a divergent headwork. Again, in the other words, as stated earlier, the main permanent canal forming a primary part of the direct irrigation scheme take off a divergent weir or the barrage. In fact, these permanent canals take off take off rivers, and the arrangement are so well made at their heads that a constant and continuous water supply is ensured into the canal even during the periods of low flow. The works which are constructed at the head of the canal in order to divert the river towards the canal so as to ensure a regulated continuous supply, as we have seen, of water at certain minimum head into canal, are called as a divergent headworks. Then what are the objectives of these divergent headworks? So first is to rise water level at a upstream of the river or the head of the canal, to control the entry of the silt into the canal and to control the deposition of silt at the head of the canal. Then to control the fluctuation of water level in the river during the different seasons. So these are the some objectives of the divergent headwork. Now the types of the divergent headwork. So first is the storage headwork. A storage headwork comprises of the construction of the dam across the river. It stores the water during the period of excess inflow and releases when demand overtakes the availability of inflow. So you have seen the mass inflow curve and mass outflow curve, that is mass demand curve. So in that we can see in the countries like us, that is in the monsoon, uh, we are having the gift of the monsoon. So in the countries like us, we have rain only or water supply only in case of monsoons itself. So to collect that water coming into the river at monsoon and release when the water is not there, so that's why that storage headwork is there. Now the diversion headwork or a weir. So it is the structure constructed across the river for the purpose of raising water level in the river so that it can be diverted into the off-taking canal. So this is the layout of divergent headwork. So here you can see this is the river flow. This is the divide wall, the normal weir portion, that is weir proper or main weir. Then weir divided into the base of pier, that is over here. This is the fish ladder, and these are lane divided by the pier. Each way is provided with the gate so as to act as a opening or the at the control height. And this is the off taking canal. This is the off taking canal. So we used to store water over here so that we can supply water to this off taking canal. This is the canal head regulator. with the gated opening called head sluice. So these are the guide banks and these are the marginal bunds with higher contours. So this is the typical layout of this divergent headwork. We can store the water over here so that the off taking canal will get the water. So components of the divergent headwork, that is weir or barrage, under sluices, divide wall, fish ladders, canal head regulator, silk excluder, guide banks and marginal bunds. The weir. A weir is a raised concrete crust wall constructed across a river. It may be provided with the small shutters at its top. In case of weir, the most of the raising water levels are or ponding is done by the solid weir wall and little with by shutters. The considerable afflux occur due to high crust level. If the difference is lesser than 1.5 meter, the weir is constructed. So basically, we have so many weirs in our area to store the water. We sometimes we call it as a bandaras. So these things has been constructed to store the water and that can be used again for the particular reasons. Now the barrage. So barrage has a low crust wall with high gates. As the height of crust above the riverbed is low, most of the ponding is done by gates. During the floods, the gates are opened so that afflux will very small. Barrage provides greater control over the river flow by operating gates. Basic purpose of the constructing barrier across the river so as to raise the water level on the upstream side of the obstruction and thus to feed the main canal taking off the it from upstream side at one or both of its flank. The ponding of the water can be achieved either only by permanent this pakka raised crust across the river or by raised crust supplemented by the falling counterbalance gates shutters working over the crust. So if the major part of or entire ponding of the water is achieved by the raising crust and smaller part or nil part of the achieved by the shutters, then this barrier called as weir. And on the other hand, if the most of the ponding is done by the gates and a smaller or near part of it is done by the raised crust, then it is called as a barrage or a river regulator. So to moving further, types of the weir. So first, vertical drop weir. So it consists of a masonry wall with vertical or nearly vertical downstream face horizontal concrete floor, suitable for hard clay foundation as well as consolidated gravel foundation. The upstream and downstream cut-off walls or piles are provided to the scour depth. So here you can see this is the shutter, this is the pond level. So this is the upstream side, this is the downstream side. So these filters has been provided over here. So this is the vertical drop weir. It is nearly vertical. Now the rockfill weirs. In the rockfill weir, in addition to the main weir wall, there are number of core walls, require lot of rock fragments, and it is economical only when huge quantity of rockfill is easily available near the weir side, and it is suitable for the fine sand foundation. So this is rockfill weir. Here you can see the slope, that is 1:4. This is the pond level. These are the shutters and these are again rock fill. The slope more has been given because water pressure is on this side, and these are the core walls to uh, reduce the particular seepage, etc. Third is the concrete sloping weir, the sloping floor on upstream as well as the downstream. You can see here these are the sloping floors. This is again crust and this is shutter and pond level you can see over here. So there are sheet piles or cut-off walls driven up to the maximum score depth. So you can see these sheet piles are there on our upstream and downstream ends at the concrete floor. The main advantage of the sloping wear over the vertical drop wear is that hydraulic jump is formed. Thus, the downstream glacis for the dissipation of the energy. So what is the difference between barrage and weir? So in barrage, the low set of crust is there, and in weir, the crust is at high level. The ponding is done by means of gate in barrage. In case of weir, the ponding is done against the raised crust or partially against the crust and partially by the shutters. In barrage, the gates over entire length. In uh, weir, shutters in part of length. The gates are of at greater height in barrage. The shutters are of smaller height in weir. The gates are raised clear of in high floods to pass the floods. Shutters are dropped to pass the floods. The perfect control on the river flow in case of barrage, so there will not be any control in case of weir in low floods. The gates are convenient to operate. In case of weir, the operation of shutter is slow, involve labor and time. In case of barrage, high flood can be passes with the minimum of flux. In case of weir, excessive of flux in high flood. You might have know the score and flux things. Uh, the in case of barrage, less silting in upstream due to low set crust. Crust is low, that's why silting is less. In case of weir, raised crust because of causes the silting upstream. Then in barrage, the longer construction period is there. In weir, the shorter construction period is there. In barrage, silt removal is done through the undersluice. No means of no means for the silt deposit for the weir. In case of barrage, road or rail bridges can be constructed at low cost. In case of weir, not possible to provide a rail or road bridge. So, barrage is the costly structure and weir is the relatively cheap structure. So, this is all for all about the barrage and weir. Further part we will see in next lecture. I would like to thank specially my friend Mr. S.K. Patil uh, for this PPT. Thank you.